Since the beginning of the school year is coming up, I wanted to show you my Plum Paper Planner before I get all of my student information in it. There are sticky notes in some parts just covering up names that are already on it. So the front cover just has my name and the school year, and it's really pretty. I like it. They had a lot of different options, but this is the one I picked. It has a plastic, clear plastic, and then a bendable type one. So I like that. And then on the inside, you can put your name in it. And I have sticky tabs from, they're the Post-it tabs that I've used last year in my planner. So I transferred them over to this one. Then opening it up, it has a calendar for 2017 and 2018. They're nice at-a-glance ones. It has special dates and ideas, plans, goals pages. Some of these will get filled out during our teacher in-service when we're back before the students are. And then each month has the lesson planning pages behind it. It starts with, it gives you a place for goals, birthdays, events, and things to remember, and then a notes page. So this will be very nice for staff meetings that we have each month. I can hopefully try to make things fit. And then there's the spread for each month, and I have written in here when we go back and when the first day of school is. It's coming up really quickly. Like I said, I wanted to show you this before I get too much student information in it. This one, you might notice I ripped out some of the pages I didn't need for August, but I needed to keep this page that had the beginning of the month to have that, and this page so that I could have my first week. In each week of the school year, I labeled it up in the corner with week 1, and I have the tab there since this is where I'll be starting. And each week I also had that customized with absence, so I can write down which students of mine are absent. And then I have 6th reading, 5th math, and 6th math. This is the order we do our classes in this sped room, so this is going to be helpful for me so I don't have to write it in every month. And then I've kind of labeled it with where the days start just so I'm ready to go when the school year starts. And it does give lots of, for prep notes area, it does label a weekend if I ever need to write stuff in it. This is very similar to my current planner, but this one is for the teachers. And it also has week 2. And you'll notice here that it starts to gray out for the next month, which if I skip ahead to this month, this week it shows it the same week, so I labeled it the same week, week 2. There's 2 weeks for it, so whichever one I end up using, because it shows both when you gray out, which is kind of nice when they trade. But then that's the end one, and then there's another page of notes at the end. And then this is what I'm going to be working on. This is my absent calendar. It says August absences, and it has the dates and then what day of the week it is. And then we can total it up each month to see how many days that student was absent. Because the way I have it set up is that, where is it now? I had it in here, I thought. Maybe I put it in somewhere else. I'll see if I can find it when I get to it. But I have a thing that'll total these up for us when we get to that point. It's somewhere in here, but that's okay. So then it goes through, and each month is roughly the same. I have kind of a little bit of things labeled. And then I got they stay the same all the way through the whole calendar. So there's not much written in it yet. I just have my weeks written in. October, those are always nice days where we know we get school days off. In December. And this is how I did it when I wanted to know by the week what day of the week it was, if they're always absent on one day of the week or not. And then because there's Thanksgiving is in there, so we had to turn over to the back side to finish up for that month. So we go through this for all of our months. Until we get to, then we've got May. We end school the last day of May, so May 31st is always our last day in our district. So, oh, yep, this is where I did it. I did it under June then. So in June, I just left the month spread because there might be teacher in-service days after school gets out. In fact, there usually are probably these days or these days. And then for the absence calendar area for this one, the student checklist, I put total absences and I put each month, and then we can total it up. So that way, at a glance, we can see how many days of school is the student missing. And is it, like, if there's a lot in one month, we can go back to that month. Because on the absence over here, when I write why they're gone, I like to also write a note for why they're gone. Like, if they're gone, why are they gone? Is it because they have something going on in their classroom, or that's in their parents' life, or what's going on? So then there's an extra page there for that before we get into the My Class section. I did pull out some of the pages I don't need in this one, so we'll see if I can remember what they are. This school year, you put your name, school year, grade levels you're in, and then it leaves a spot for goals, which is kind of nice since we have to turn those in anyway at the beginning of every year. And then a notes section. And then class schedule. Even though I probably won't write too much in there, I might put in when I have recess duties and what times class periods are when students come to me, because my schedule doesn't change every day like some teachers do. And then we have this field trip time, because we have field trips and events for both grade levels. Another year at a glance page where we can organize what's going on in our school year and see it at a glance. And then a spot for student birthdays. This is always nice, so we make sure that we celebrate every one of our students, even if they have summer birthdays. We still like to acknowledge them. This probably won't be used because we have a different classroom expenses sheet we need to turn in every year. In the student health information, this will only be used for the students that I work with one-on-one, probably, just so I can have a close glance for it. But I usually don't use this section much because we have a full binder with every student in our school's health information that we can look at if we need it. Then it gives us a place to start planning for next year's goal, next year. And then this is where I will do some of my gradebook keeping. We have to enter all of our gradebook stuff into the online campus, so this isn't used too much. I do like to keep a list of my student stuff, the kids that I'm working with, but I enter grades for a few different teachers, so this will only probably be used for the students I'm working with in math and reading. And I got a bunch of checklist pages. I don't know if I'll use them all, but then next year I'll know how many I did or didn't use. And it might also be good to put in student scores, like their MAP scores, their SBAC scores if we get them, so that way we know where they're at, RCBMs, MAPs, or MCAPs and comps. They're kind of nice there. And then we go into the notes page, and there are a bunch of note paper. We get regular note paper, and then there is, let me cover up something before I flip this next page. And then there is one page of dot grid, which some people use that for seating charts, but I don't really have to worry about seating charts too much, so I don't worry about it. Then US holidays for 17, 18, and 19. And then a 2019 calendar, so you can start prepping. In here I have the school calendar for our school district. I just slipped it in to the little pocket, the folder pocket. But this shows all of the days we have school when we don't, teacher in-service days. And then the back side of the pocket, I have all of these from last year. I had gotten the Erin Condren Teacher Planner, but I didn't use a lot of it, so I kept all of the cards, though, all of the stickers I hadn't used, that I'm going to use them as necessary this year. So that'll be nice, because I like the birthday one, so I can label on that day which student's birthday it is. And then that's the planner. So it's a nice little planner. I really, really like the Plum Paper ones. Like I said, I use Plum Paper for my personal planner too, that keeps all of my personal stuff together. So yeah, maybe I'll show you that one before I start my new planner for that too. But this is my Plum Paper Planner Teacher Planner, and it's August through June. I pulled out the July because I knew I wasn't going to need it, but it does come with 12 months. So, and it's a very nice planner. So I'll leave you a link in the description for Plum Paper, because this is a really cool planner and it's really not too expensive, and I like this size. The one I had last year was the Erin Condren one, and it was a lot larger. This one is smaller, so that's convenient. I will grab the Erin Condren one and do a size comparison for you too. This is the Erin Condren planner. It barely fits in the frame here, but it's the size of a regular piece of paper. They fit in, they have sleeves in for these as well. This is the last day of school, we had some coloring going on, but that fits easily in the planner so you can have regular size sheets of paper. I'm going to put the Plum Paper one on top so you can see that it's smaller by a little bit on the top, or if I slide it up to the top, line it up. And it isn't quite as large on the sides either. If we go to look at it width-wise, currently I pulled a lot out of my Erin Condren as I went through the year and wasn't using stuff, so my Plum Paper is thicker right now, but I will probably be pulling some pages out of it at some point. Last year with my Erin Condren, I washi taped the sides for the quarters. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet for this one. I probably will, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I still have time. School hasn't quite started yet. But that is the size comparison for these two if you're considering one over the other. And they do have a large size one of these. I just prefer the smaller size. It's easier to carry and I like it better.